And I also made the quality of my listings better. And the better your channel. Today's video is going to be kind of a countdown video. It's a lot of questions that I have been getting, that I get very often in my emails, my messages, from those of you who are wondering about, you know, what you're not doing correctly or what you're doing right or wrong. And I just kind of wanted to make a comprehensive video, a comprehensive list of things that are just commonly asked about. And so these are going to be the top 10 mistakes that you are making on Poshmark and how to avoid them. Okay, so just a heads up, I'm probably going to have to make this into 2 videos because there are 10 points that I want to talk about, and I don't want the video to run too long because then it will take a really long time to upload. So if I have to cut it into 2 parts, I will post the first part and then I will post the next part tomorrow. So make sure that you're subscribed and click the little bell so that you don't miss a video and don't miss when I post part 2 to this one. Okay, so let's get into the top 10 mistakes that people make on Poshmark and how to avoid them. So I'm gonna count down from number 10 to number 1. So make sure that you stick around for the whole thing because you're gonna wanna hear number 1. So number 10 is that this is something that I feel like a lot of us do when we first start out, and that is you are undervaluing your inventory. If you have just started on Poshmark and you are mainly just selling things from your closet and you mainly just want to get rid of them basically, you still need to be careful about how you price them in your closet. Even if you're not concerned about making a profit on it, you still don't want to drive the market down on the items for other people. So I do encourage you to take your items, especially if they are name brand, higher end brand, and just look up sold listings. Look up sold listings on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay just to see how much they are really selling for. And also try to Google and see if you can find the original retail price for them. That way you can kind of base it off of that as well. There is a lot that goes into how I price things and how I figure up, you know, how I'm going to price it on Poshmark, because you can't just price it at what you want for it. There's a lot more math involved and strategy and what goes into it in terms of preparing for sales and negotiations and things like that. If you would like to know more specifics on how I price items and also like to learn about more strategies for closet clear out and offer to likers, I do have a guide available. I'll link it down below, but it covers everything from pricing to pricing up and sales and closet clear out. And I go through how I manage offer to likers. There's a ton of information in it, so if that is something that you struggle with, I highly recommend picking that up. Again, it is linked down below in the description box. But basically, don't price your items super low, and don't price them even, because when we first start out, we just want to make a sale just to see, you know, what we can get for something. And it's something a lot of people do. When I first started out, I had no idea that this was going to be a full-blown business, or that I was going to do this for a living. So, you know, I was just kind of selling stuff that I had around the house. So I wasn't really putting too much thought into pricing or anything like that. But if you have just started out, I do encourage you to learn more about pricing and to not, you know, just sell things to sell them, because that really drives the market down. Even if you are not building this into a full-blown business, that really drives the market down for everybody, whether they are selling from their closet or not. Some people who do sell from their closets want to get what the item is worth. You know, maybe they took it to Plato's Closet and got offered like $1 for it, and they want to make more for it. So really make sure that you are pricing your items correctly. Number 9 is you have bad photos. So this is also something that I feel like a lot of beginners struggle with. When I first started to really list more on Poshmark, I really struggled with lighting. There was really only one room in my house that had natural lighting, and it was only between 2 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So that is when I had to take my photos, and it took me forever to take photos because I was just starting out, and I really struggled with this. So I worked that way for a long time. I'm gonna be honest. I worked that way for a very long time. And I finally got to a point in my business where I got a lighting kit. And it literally changed my life, because now I can list anytime, I can take photos anytime. For example, I like to work at night. I work better at night. I'm more focused at night. So that really put a damper on when I could take pictures. So getting the lighting kit was really eye-opening for me in terms of, you know, I can use it for YouTube, I can use it for my listings, my business. It completely opened so many doors for me. And the better your photos look, the more you are going to get for your items. You don't have to have, you know, you don't have to spend 30 minutes per photo styling photos, but your photos do need to be at least clear and on a solid background. So I have products that I use linked down below if you are interested in seeing, you know, what I use. There are different lighting kits, different backgrounds that you can get, and I have a couple different choices that are linked down below. I get a lot of comments about people who don't have a ton of space. So if you don't have a ton of space, I highly recommend you getting the ring light. It does not take up much space at all, and it will make your photos, videos, whatever you want to do look amazing. So all of that is linked in the description box down below. But if you are kind of on the fence in terms of buying a lighting kit, if you have reached that point in your business, and I remember being to that point where you don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff, and it's truthfully not a lot of money in terms of business expenses. It's not a lot of money. So if you're on the fence, I highly recommend, you know, if you need it for Christmas, ask for it for Christmas. Maybe someone else will get it for you, but you need the lighting kit. If you can invest in one thing for your business, it's the lighting kit, because it will literally, it'll change your photos, it'll change the look of your closet, it'll make your closet look more professional. So if you are going to invest in anything, I highly recommend getting the lighting kit to up the quality of your photos. So number eight is you spend too much time doing magic methods that don't work. And I see this every single day in my group. You guys are just really overthinking the entire thing. Even today, I'm seeing people overthinking things, overthinking titles, overthinking descriptions, overthinking the entire process. Do not sit there and psych yourself out and overthink Poshmark. Poshmark is very simple. And this is kind of my approach to Poshmark, which I feel like is very different from a lot of other people's. There is no magic quick fix method to Poshmark. There is no magic quick fix method to sales. You have to have the right inventory, you have to be listing the right inventory, and you have to share. You have to be sharing. You can't, you know, this is not passive income. This is not, you know, 30 minutes a day and I'm done. Like, no, this is not what Poshmark is. Especially if you are trying to build it into a business, it cannot be done in 30 minutes a day. There's no magic fix, there's no quick fix. It's not, you know, it's not a get rich fast kind of thing. You have to work at it every single day. And if you are spending all this time overthinking and doing all of these things that aren't actually helping your closet or helping you make sales, if you're not getting sales from it, then it's not working for you. If you are doing these things and you're getting followers, followers are not sales. Followers are not money. Your followers are going to help you in terms of they will share your listings for you, but you sitting around trying to get followers all day is not going to sell your items. So that's not something that you need to be priority focused on. Yes, you need followers so that people will share your listings more. But getting followers does not necessarily mean that you are going to get sales. It will help you in terms of the promoting aspect of Poshmark, but it's not necessarily going to help you with your inventory or your sharing, because getting followers is not sharing. You actually have to be interacting with your followers. And whether you have 100 followers or whether you have, you know, 100,000 followers. If you're not interacting with them, they mean absolutely nothing, because that's not going to get you sales. So sitting around doing all of this stuff trying to get followers is not helping you, and that's wasting time, and time is money. So you don't want to be sitting around trying to follow people and, you know, focus on following people. You want to be interacting with people more. You want to be sharing. This is why I created my share group that I have, which I will put the sign up down below. But this is why I created a share group. It's not following people, it's sharing. You have to share listings. You have to be, you know, you have to be sharing other people's listings. You have to be interacting within the app. And it's not just for a certain time of day. You have to be really involved with the app and with getting followers. So, you know, in terms of, you know, spending all this time doing these methods, you need to be listing. That is priority number one. You need to be listing. You need to get your inventory organized. You need to have all of your stuff straight so that you can actually make sales. Not spending time doing all of these methods. You need to list and you need to share. And that is what is going to make you sales, not followers. You need to, and also not dwelling on like, should I relist this? Should I do this? Should I do that? You're really overthinking everything. So don't overthink Poshmark. Stop wasting time doing all of this stuff that's not getting you sales, and use that time to list new inventory. Number 7. So number 7 is something that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, and especially if you have just started and you don't really know what you're doing, you really need to think about this in terms of if you are going to build your Poshmark even into just a side job for yourself. So number 7 is that your closet name is not inviting or brandable. And you need to pick a name for your closet. Like my closet is my name. So that's not really, I've used that since literally high school for stuff that I've done. So, you know, that wasn't something that was a huge thought process for me. Like, it's my name. So maybe you don't want to use your name, but you need to pick something. Think about it if it were on a business card or if it were a logo. Would you want the name that your closet is on a business card or a logo? Think about boutiques. Think about the names of the boutiques. That's a logo. That's a business name. And you have to keep that in mind whenever you're naming your closet, because you want your closet to at least have a bare minimum sense of professionalism. You can't, you know, just make your closet like the number for your birthday. You're not going to put that on a business card. I mean, I guess you could, but you don't want to make it something that's busy or complicated that people aren't going to remember. So your closet has to be something that's really easy to spell, and it needs to be catchy. It needs to be easy to remember. So keep that in mind whenever you're picking a name for your closet. So number 6. Number 6 is a huge topic that I get asked about every day. Number 6 is you're not shipping items correctly. You, at bare minimum, need to be professional in packaging your items to the point where it protects the item. You don't necessarily have to have all these gift wrapping, tissue paper, all of that, especially when you're first starting out and, you know, you don't really have any of these things and you don't want to spend a lot of money on them. But you need to, at bare minimum, go to Walmart and get some gallon-sized Ziploc bags and put your item in a plastic bag that's going to protect it within the mailer. Yes, you can get the free supplies from the post office, but you don't want to just put stuff in the boxes and the mailers from the post office loose. That doesn't look good. And if any sort of water or anything gets in there, it's going to ruin your item. So I highly recommend, at bare minimum, going to Walmart and getting some plastic gallon-sized Ziploc bags to put your items in when you ship them. So I'm going to make an entire other video about shipping and about shipping mistakes. So make sure that you are subscribed for when that video goes up, because that is, I could literally sit here for an hour and talk to you guys about shipping, because I get so many questions about shipping. It's my most watched video on my YouTube channel. It's one of the first videos I ever posted because I got so many questions about it. But that is, you know, something that you really want to keep in mind and you really want to be aware of when you're shipping things. You want your item to get to the customer like you shipped it. You don't want the item to be damaged when it gets to the customer, because that's going to open the door for them to open an item not as described case against you. And if your item wasn't protected in shipment, they're going to win because you didn't ship the item properly. Okay, so I'm going to pause here because this video is over 15 minutes now. So that would take a long time to upload if I keep going. So I'm gonna pause here and end here for part 1. Make sure you're subscribed because tomorrow I'm gonna be posting part 2. So I will see you guys in part 2. Make sure you're there. Thanks so much. Bye.